My dear boys and girls, this is MD Rejaul Islam. Today we want to discuss about lesson 13.4 to 13.5.1, relation of energy and biodiversity from chapter 13, environment around life. So, dear boys and girls, let's start. A relation of energy between the trophic levels of an ecosystem. What is trophic level? Every step of an ecosystem, it is called trophic level or food level. So look at here, every step of a food chain is called a trophic level. According to the principle, each of all these levels, primary producers and primary consumers of first level, consumers of second level, and consumers of topmost level is a trophic level. The producers represent the first or the lowest level in an ecosystem. The herbivorous consumer of first level are the representative of second trophic level. This way, carnivorous animal of both the higher and lower levels represent third and topmost trophic levels respectively. Some of the energy collected from the sun in the producers or in the lowest trophic level of any food chain goes out in every consecutive step as heat energy. As a result, it is found that the energy the producers collect from the sun is reduced, reaching the second trophic level. The amount of energy is more reduced, reaching the topmost trophic level. Generally, in any ecosystem, 10% of the stored energy is transferred from one trophic level to another trophic level, and the remaining 9% energy is released as heat in the atmosphere or remain unused. These lines are very important for you. Generally, in an ecosystem, 10% of the stored energy is transferred and remaining 90% energy is released as heat in the atmosphere or remain unused. This is the relation of energy between the trophic levels of an ecosystem. This is the producers. This is called first trophic level. This is the primary consumer. This is second trophic level. This is the secondary consumers. This is the third trophic level, and this is the topmost consumer, that is the tertiary consumer. This is the fourth trophic level. And look at here, energy is decreases 90 as the rate of 90% from during transfer of different trophic level. 100, then 90% loss. 10 from 10 to 1, 90% decreases. From 1 to 0.1, 90% decreases. This is the relation of energy between the trophic levels of an ecosystem. Then next topic, it is energy pyramid. The narrow apex of the three-dimensional structure. Look at here. This is also a energy pyramid. This diagram represents the energy pyramids. So look, the narrow apex of the three-dimensional structure based on its triangular base is called pyramid. The structure of trophic levels in an ecosystem is shown with the structure of a pyramid. The chart describing the arrangement of energy storage and transfer of every nutrition level connected to food chain is called energy pyramid. The amount of energy is much higher in the level of producers than that of the next trophic levels. The organisms of higher trophic level than those of lower trophic levels lose more energy at an ever increasing rate for respiration and other activities. This is why the producers and the topmost consumers are placed on the base and at the top of the pyramid respectively. Then our next topic, it is about biodiversity. Until now, it has become possible to describe and identify 15 lakh species. Every species is characterized with its own unique features and is different and identifiable from all other species by this very characters. For instance, jackfruit is a species and it is possible to separate it from other species by its special characters. It has been become possible to group the living world into millions of species because of the existing diversity in the organism. Again, human being is a species. At present, about 700 crores of human beings lives on the earth. They are all not exactly the same and are different from each other in some characters. So diversity is there even among the members of the same species. Briefly, to say it can be said that biodiversity is the abundance and variability among the organisms existing on the earth. It is called biodiversity. Types of biodiversity. Biodiversity is of three types: species diversity, genetic diversity, and ecological diversity. So, first of all, what about species diversity? Species diversity generally means the total number of organisms existing on Earth, because a species is different from other species by its distinctive characters, such as a deer is distinct from a tiger in size, habit, ferocity, number, mode of multiplication, etc. The difference in different issues of a species from other species is the species diversity. Then, what about genetic diversity? Differences in many issues are found in the members of same species. Though they belong to the same species, their structure, their size, and ability to resist diseases and to endure environmental adversities are different. These differences emerge because of the little diversity in composition of their genes. Hereditary characters of organisms are transmitted through generation by genes. There is a gene for every character. Gene in character in one organism occur because of their different changes in the structure and arrangement of genes, and new species may evolve. Through this process, the diversity introduced with the organisms is called genetic diversity. Then next, ecosystem diversity. If any changes occur with the physical, chemical, and organic components of any ecosystem, the balance of the ecosystem is hampered. These changes are, of course, slow and steady. To adapt with the changes, changes also occur with the organisms living there. As a result, the biodiversity developed there is called ecosystem diversity. In a small pond ecosystem, the habitats grown for the plants and animals are different than those of a river ecosystem. In the ecosystem of forest, grassland, lake, river, water, reservoir, hill, sea, desert, etc., the living communities are developed with their own distinct characters. These topics are very important for you, like a question for 3 marks, classified or explain the different types of biodiversity, or what do you mean by ecosystem diversity, what do you mean by species diversity, what do you mean by genetic diversity, like this. Then effect of biodiversity on the maintenance of stability in an ecosystem. The components of the environment are deeply interrelated with each other. For maintaining the balance in the environment, this complex relationship has been developed. With the activities of a large number of organisms, the balance is maintained in the environment. Only the extinction of a species in an environment may cause a large catastrophe. So, for the stability of the environment, biodiversity is especially important. The organisms and animals which were once considered unnecessary and undesired, with the passage of time, this has been found that These organisms are continuously playing their necessary roles in the conservation of the environment. Once there were innumerable oysters in the coast of Chickpea in United States of America. For example, necessity of biodiversity. We discussed about the necessity of biodiversity. They could purify the water of the total locality by only 3 days, but now 99% of these oysters have been extinct. As a result, the remaining oysters cannot purify the water of that total locality even by a year. This is why the water of that coast is gradually becoming muddy, and the level of dissolved oxygen in the water of that locality is being reduced. A mature toad in a day can eat the amount of worms and insects equal to its body weight. These worms and insects cause much harm to our cultivated harvest. For the use of different pesticides, toads are being killed. Worms and insects are the main food of birds. Among them, the number of the pests which cause harm to the humans and cultivated harvest is high. Besides that, birds play significant role in pollination. We know that owl, eagle, vulture, and raptor are predatory birds. By eating rats, they keep the number of rats under control. Then look at here, this three line is very important for your exam. If a pair of rats living at a house of a human without any trouble could reproduce freely, so if a pair of rats living at a house of a human without any trouble could reproduce freely, the number of rats would be 880 at the end of a year. But an owl can digest 3 rats in a day. If vultures, raptors, and crows would not clear the dead and decaying organic matters, the world would be covered with the rotten part of waste product. This is why no organism can be considered unnecessary. If any organism is extinct from the environment, the stability of an ecosystem is destroyed. So, for the sustainability of ecosystem, the role of biodiversity is unquestionable. And after completing these topics, a homework for you, boys and girls, draw the diagram of energy pyramid. So, dear boys and girls, do complete this homework at your home. Be fine, everybody.